So if you're afraid of public speaking, the one thing they tell you to do is completely look at your audience and imagine them naked. But I am so afraid of completely naked people that I'd rather be standing up here. It all started with my 92-year-old grandmother who came to live with me when I was a stay-at-home mom with my 2-year-old. And on a frigid February morning, she said to me, "Cathy, will you wash my waist-length hair?" Now, normally I had done that in the past outside, but 12-degree weather seemed like, I don't know, elder abuse. So I took her to the kitchen sink, and I had the brilliant idea that the 2-year-old should be in charge of the squirty hose. After about 30 seconds, everyone in that kitchen was soaking wet, including the dog, and I was worried that my 2-year-old might have a career in waterboarding. So we went to the bathroom, and I leaned my Nana over the tub, and without even starting, she put her hands under her armpits and said, "Oh, my ligaments, my ligaments." Now, I don't know what ligaments are, but I could see the writing on the wall. So I stripped down the 2-year-old, I stripped down the grandmother, I got myself naked, we all hopped in the shower together. And they were lathering and laughing, and I was looking at my life in a crystal ball. I could see my past, my present, and my future. And words came to me with new meaning like flouncy and cottage cheese. So you think I would have learned my lesson, but caregiving has other ideas. A couple years later, my 90-year-old mother-in-law needed to recuperate from some minor surgery. So I brought her to my house, and I told my husband, get one of those shower heads with a really long cord, and she could sit in that little corner seat in our shower to take a bath. But I didn't realize that at 90, it's kind of hard to hold the shower head, keep your wound dry, get soap in all the right places, and not slide off that little chair about the size of a Triscuit. So when she called for help, I burst into that bathroom like Superman in a phone booth, ripped off my clothes, jumped in the shower, and finished the job. And when we got out of the shower, she looked at me pretty coyly and said, "I bet you never thought you'd get that intimate with your mother-in-law." Okay, now I was going to put blackout curtains in my bathroom, maybe shove some dark shades in the shower in case something like this happened again, but fate had other ideas. A couple years later, I became the caregiver for my brother-in-law who had multiple sclerosis. No, I did not take a shower with my brother-in-law. You are a very naughty audience, and I can see every one of you naked. But he did call me and say, "I need you to bring over a board with a handle in it and a box of baby powder." And I'm thinking, okay, that's kind of kinky weird, but he's an engineer. He's probably figured something out to make our lives easy. When I get there, he says, "All right, you sprinkle the baby powder on the board. You shove the board under my bare butt. I slide to the edge of the bed. I throw my legs down. I get dressed, and you slide me onto the wheelchair." And I'm like, that's ingenious. But I was pretty good by this time with lady parts, getting them washed and dressed. But man parts, that was a whole new ballgame for me. And there were things that were dangling and getting stuck that I wasn't quite prepared for. And seriously, we used the entire box of baby powder. We were covered from head to toe, and we were laughing so hard that there were rivulets of powder and my mascara coming down my white face. And he was going with powder in his beard and his mustache. And he said to me, "You look like a bad imitation of Marcel Marceau." And not to be outdone, I said, "You, at least the real Santa, probably doesn't have road rash in embarrassing places." So when I got the email for this story slam, I was actually doing the funeral preparations for my brother-in-law. And my girlfriend turned to me and said, "You couldn't possibly have any regrets from doing caregiving." And I thought, someone once said to me, regrets are those things you have when there's no laughter and no love. Oh, wait, I said that to me. And you know what? Yeah, no regrets.